who inscribed them everywhere they went. The name rune means a secret thing or a mystery. When the high chieftains and wise counselors of Anglo-Saxon England met, they called their secret deliberations runes. When Bishop Wufala translated the Bible into 4th century Gothic, he rendered St. Mark's "The Mystery of the Kingdom of God" and used the word runa to mean mystery. When the Greek historian Herodotus traveled around the Black Sea, he encountered descendants of Scythian tribesmen who crawled under blankets, smoked themselves into a stupor, and then cast marked sticks in the air and read them when they fell. These sticks were used as a kind of runic form of divination. By AD 100, the runes were already becoming widely known on the European continent. The most explicit surviving description of how the runes were used comes from the Roman historian Tacitus, writing in AD 98 about practices prevalent among the Germanic tribes. He reports, "To divination and casting of lots, they pay attention beyond any other people. Their method of casting lots is a simple one. They cut a branch from a fruit-bearing tree and divide it into small pieces, which they mark with certain distinctive signs, notae, and scatter at random onto a white cloth. Then the priest of the community, if the lots are consulted publicly, or the father of the family, if it is done privately, after invoking the gods and with eyes raised to the heavens, picks up 3 pieces, one at a time, and interprets them according to the signs previously marked upon them." Chapter 10, Germania. Runes were used to foretell the future by casting, and they were also inscribed into tools, weapons, and many other items. Runic letters were also used by the clergy as an alternative to the Latin alphabet. According to Norse belief, the runes were given to Odin, the father of creation, who was able to communicate with his people through the runes, and gave them warnings, blessings, and even curses from their enemies. The runic alphabet, known as the Futhark, appears to have been derived from 2 distinct sources. The first is considered to be Swedish, where pre-runic symbols have been found in various Bronze Age carvings, while a second case has been made for a Latin and Greek derivation of the runic alphabet. The roots of the runes are still argued among scholars. The strongest evidence appears to point toward a North Italic origin. There are close parallels between the forms of the letters used in that area, in addition to the variable direction of the writing. Both Latin and Italic scripts derive from the Etruscan alphabet, which explains why so many runes resemble Roman letters. This would place the creation of the Futhark sometime before the 1st century BC, when the Italic scripts were being absorbed and replaced by the Latin alphabet. Linguistic and phonetic analysis points to an even earlier inception date, perhaps as far back as 200 BC. As time went on, runes became standardized throughout Europe. In some places, the runes numbering as few as 16, in other areas as many as 36. However, 24 runes formed the basic alphabet, or Futhark. The Anglo-Saxons are credited with spreading the runes throughout Europe. The common Germanic Futhark remained in use among most of the Teutonic peoples until approximately the 5th century AD. It was at about this time that the first changes in the Futhark emerged on Frisian soil. The 5th and 6th centuries were a time of great change for the Frisian language, during which many vowels shifted in their sounds, while new phonemes were added. This necessitated the expansion of the rune row, and in this first expansion, 4 new rune staves were added to represent the new sounds in the Frisian language. The changes in the Frisian language also represented many of the changes that would be seen in Old English. Starting in the 8th century, more rune staves were added. It must be pointed out, though, that some of these staves are not proper runes, but rather pseudo-runes. In the 8th century, the Old Norse